Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are ToucherandHardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 Sports Hub on YouTube. You can download the podcast anywhere you download podcasts. Make podcast big download, big sensation. It is graduation season, and I was telling you guys yesterday, we had for the girl, lifelong friends, whose daughter was graduating. She was in the same grade as my son, but then my son reclassed, so she's graduating from Newton North. She graduated from Newton North yesterday. She's going to Rollins. It's a whole thing. It's a whole following in my footsteps. It's a whole closed circle of life. But I got to tell you this, and Hardy, you've been through this. So the graduations are interesting. So apparently at Newton North, over 500 kids are in the senior class.
Okay. Big school.
They have their graduation, but if you're not immediate family, there's really no reason to go because it's going to be so jammed up. But they do have it on YouTube. So my daughter and I put it on. I think it started at like 3:30. We put it on at like 5, and they hadn't even gotten to the names yet. And then, so I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm going to just go upstairs and like shower and do laundry before we go over to this party for this girl at her house, where they're like watching it, where the immediate family that's not the mom and dad and the sister, because even the little brother was at that house watching it on TV. So they go to the names. My daughter calls me down and she's like, "Hey, they're on the D's." This girl's last name ends with D, or starts with D. I go down there and they're in the D's. These nuts.
And I was just going to say, so right when they got to the D's, yelled, "D's nuts,"
on
and
your
then, and then left.
So, yes, that's what I did. But they...
It's awesome.
Thank you. But You're
going to go viral?
Yeah. I mean, I did a reaction vid where you can see me going nuts. They were on the D's, which, I mean, we fill in the blank. But they were on the names that start with the letter D for 20 minutes. I mean, it's insanity, and it's not like the kids are doing anything. They are off that stage within 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds. Easily 5 seconds. And they're just walking across, but there are so many children, or now young adults, that they're just filtering
daily.
Off and on and off and on. Yeah, it's insane. And then they started getting to like lower in the alphabet vowels following the D.
Danver, yes. Dennis.
Yeah, and it was just like, whoa, this is never going to happen.
Donnelly.
Like, this is almost like a joke.
Dunbar. Like, holy crap.
And then we're kind of monitoring it. So then I shower and I do the laundry and everything, and I come down and they're still calling out names, and they're only in the T's. So I'm like monitoring it going, when should we go over to this house? This graduation started at say it started at 4. Mm-hmm. It's, 7:15 at this point, and they're still calling the T's.
A lot of T's and S's.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that, the T's, I mean, as a toucher, I can tell you that this is not the end by any stretch. You still have W's. I mean, there's a whole thing.
Oh, you haven't even started in on the Sullivans and the Smiths, and you would have already gone.
No, you've already gone through those.
You've already gone through the S.
But there's a lot of foreign names.
Alphabetical.
You know that Newton is it's a real Benetton ad and so don't overlook Z's either when you're dealing with multicultural.
Hey, X's. More than you'd think.
Yeah, well, there's a big Farrakhan population there, so there's a lot of X's, just X's. So it just goes on and on and on, and so we make the decision that we're going to go to this place at like 7:45, It's like 4 hours or something after this graduation.
Seems reasonable. Yes.
I never saw the girl. They never got home. Because we got there and it was again immediate family and us. And I was like, okay, I've never met any of these people before because the people that we knew were at the graduation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never met these people before. So we're at this house. It's not like a castle, it's like a rather, modest house. And we're in this house and there's all these people we don't know. And so I waited around for 45 minutes and I was with my ex-wife and daughter. I'm like, we got to go. I'm like, we don't belong here. Like, this is 45 minutes. We're just like, they all know each other and we don't know them. We're the only people that's not family in this house. I'm like, we got to go. Who knows when they'll get back? They probably walked.
Oh.
Who knows when they'll get back? Because, it's like a whole 500 graduating kids. I mean, that's a 2-lane road in front of that place. That's
552 kids in my graduating class, and we also went alphabetical. And we had 2 significant rain delays in the middle of it, so it was a long day.
When you think about it, and I know I felt this way, I felt that graduating high school was no mean accomplishment. I did not find it to be anything worthwhile. I did not look at it in any way as some kind of achievement in my life. I really didn't. And I remember my mom's dad was there, my grandfather, Pop. And he was there, and I asked him, I'm like, why are you here? Like, this is not a big deal. And he's like, I don't know. Your mom told me to come.
Yeah.
He didn't fly either, so I don't even know how he got to Detroit. I don't remember. But he never flew in his entire life. He died without having ever flown.
Yeah, there is something a little off-putting about, making a big to-do and a big celebration over something that most people do. Like, and it's not having a baby. It's not bringing life into the world. It's like, yeah, most people do that too, but you still celebrate and make a big deal. This is something that most people do, and a lot of people do with a lot of struggle or effort. The speeches would tell you otherwise.
Well, that's the thing is that
this is the hardest and greatest 4 years of your life.
It's always that valedictorian that never talked to anybody.
Yeah, that's why I want to raise my hand. Like,
that's right.
You're going to remember maybe 10% of this. It's
not
really
even
inconsequential.
Yeah,
and it is funny because I think my high school ceremony, which I don't remember anything of. Now the college ceremony, I do remember because we were all horribly depressed because they let everyone out of school but the seniors, and we had like a week of just sitting there, knowing that like this whole thing was over. And I very much enjoyed college. So I remember that very well. I remember how viciously hungover I was the morning of the graduation too. I was not alone. And we got put into this gym, a gym I'd probably been in one time my entire time at Rollins. And we walked in and all of a sudden it's like overpacked with people. And I was just like, oh no. But in fairness to Rollins, the ceremony very short, not many people there.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, I kind of have the same feeling looking back on my college graduation as the high school thing because, my mom and dad were there, and I had a great aunt and uncle who also attended. My sister was there, which was nice. But, graduating from the communications college at Michigan State, pretty sizable graduating class. They had it in the Breslin Center just for our college. This wasn't like the entire undergrad graduation ceremony for Michigan State. No, there were so many people graduating from the College of Communications that they had to have it in the place where, they played basketball. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, well, I'm glad I did it. And, I guess there's a certain amount of pride that you take in getting a college degree, but there's an awful lot of us. Not sure how special this is. There's a lot of people who did the exact same thing as me. We're all being honored.
Yeah, they really heard you. They really take away at the huge colleges. They do because at some of them you don't even walk across the stage. You stand up and they acknowledge you.
The guy mispronounced my name. How do you mispronounce Robert Reed Poole?
What did he say?
Pole.
What?
Oh my, that's agricultural pronunciations.
Pole, get up here. You can graduate from the Swan Research Facility. Stupid journalism degree. Go on, take it. Get.
Well, at least they let you go up. Sometimes they just have the class stand up and they just acknowledge them as a class. Like you don't, and then they have already given you your diploma
Fred,
or something.
I don't remember. I think I did. I remember having my name read, and I think I went up, but I don't remember.
Okay.
And I wasn't even hungover. It was just,
You weren't hungover?
no.
You guys didn't go out the night before graduation?
No, Fred, why would I do that? And didn't spoil the day.
It's a good point.
I don't know.
You had to get your Z's.
I don't remember.
The only
It was
reason
also a really long time ago. Not as long ago as it was for John. Pretty long time ago.
Well, John, they gave everyone a wheel and a stick, and that was they were like, "This was your graduation present, the newest toy." It was just a cylinder with a stick that you push down the road.
Well, the years before, it was just the stick that you could run along a picket fence when you went by. So the wheel was new for his graduating class.
Well, there was a rumble between John's school and the Black College. Because they got out at the same time, and there was the whole segregation mess. Which oddly probably wasn't that long before us for some colleges. Like Ole Miss, it's still the thing. The only reason I remember being hungover because it was one of those like real depressing ones because we were already, and I'm saying we collectively because it wasn't just me. Like everyone was like kind of depressed. But high school, and you're right. I heard the speeches yesterday, and the people were very good at their speeches, and they were very charismatic and relaxed. So I'm not saying anything about that, but I do remember my graduation too. And based on the speeches, you'd think you'd really done something. I mean, and you hadn't really done anything. And then it's funny when you get older. When you're in high school, obviously 4 years is a big chunk of your life.
Yeah.
And then when you get in like 50 years old, you're like 4 years is nothing.
Right.
Like high school was like nothing. I don't remember it fondly. I remember it almost indifferently.
Well, is part of that because you got kicked out of one of your high schools and you had to attend another one, and maybe that soured your memory of it?
Well, my memory of that year is just being sick. Like sick for like 3 months. So that's my memory of that year. I didn't mind North Farmington.
No, you're a real piece of crap in high school. You're getting sick and getting kicked out. You're a real nothing.
Wow. That's what they said when they kicked me out. Wow. They said you're real nothing. And by the way,
sickly piece of crap.
My mother loses her mind every time she hears me say I was kicked out. She's like, "It wasn't like that," and I'm like, "Well, they asked me not to come back." Like, I mean, she's like, well, it was like kind of a mutual decision. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. Like, like
mutual decision?
Like, yeah, I didn't want to go back, but like they had no problem with it and were like kind of encouraging me not to.
Like, Mom, if I had said no, I want to come back, then they would have said no. That's kind of the same as being kicked out.
Right, yeah. Because like again, I've never claimed this, but it wasn't some like I did something and they're like, you're out of the school, or like they had a meeting of like a committee and said you're out of the school. They like called me and my parents in and Craig Turnbull and his parents in, and they were like, and I just remember the discussion really like going like we don't want to come, we don't, what do you think about coming back? And we're going like, we don't want to come back. And they're like, that sounds really good. We think that's probably a good idea. So, I mean, I guess like it's like when Barnes was not renewed and I was sued for saying he was fired.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like kind of like the same thing. The story sounds better if I say kicked out, but it wasn't. Again, when I'm with Hardy, that what a loser I was is that it wasn't even some grand thing where I was like I lit a fire or like got caught with heroin or something. Like it was nothing, or like I like kicked 8 guys' asses. Like it wasn't anything like that. It was just kind of a puttering out of inconsequentialness.
It's not what they were looking for, that particular institution.
No.
They wanted the leaders of tomorrow.
You were one of the people they were weeding out of the student body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a pump up the volume situation.
And now if they could look back, 30 or 35 years from then or whatever the hell it was, or 33 years from now, I think that they would have gone, there's probably some other people we should have kicked out before him, based on the mortality rate of that class. I would guess.
What
but that
happened afterwards?
That was a big country day. That was like a big rich school. But I didn't mind the public school. But the thing is that I just didn't. I knew at the time I didn't care. Like I didn't care about graduating. Like I didn't care about this chapter of my life ending. I did care about college, because unless you're staying in academia, there is that, oh no, like now I gotta like function in the world, and I gotta like, figure out how I'm gonna work. And especially if you want to be in something like radio, where I had no idea what I was doing. Zero. No guidance. Nothing. Literally no guidance. Like I had absolutely no idea what I was doing at any point, and no mentor or anything. So I was real stuck. And now I worked at Chili's. I got that out of my system right away. I went down to the Farmington Hills Chili's and worked there for a few months.
That's good stuff.
I enjoyed myself at the Chili's.
My job at Houlihan's, now that I remember, and that was at least during college and a little bit after college. I feel like I have more memories of that than I do, the 4 years of classes and other stuff in college. Yeah, that I don't know. It's maybe because that's more like real life. You're actually going into a job and doing something that has more to do with how the rest of your life is going to be than college, which is just, a fairy tale.
I just remember being relieved that it was much easier to get laid than it was at a small private college, like, because where everyone was living on top of each other and knew each other.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you go to Chili's, you get real, like, dropouts and stuff, easy to have sex with. And that was, like, a big, like, revelation to me. I'm like, whoa. Like, these girls much more willing to have sex with me. This is exciting. Like, let's go. Like, And, when you're 18 and, like, banging them on the couch with my parents' home, like, I'm just like, I don't care.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like, I don't care. Like, I had sex with a girl on the couch in the living room, and my parents were, like, upstairs. I think I'm, like, if I walked in, I mean, my son's 18, I don't know what he's up to, but if, like, I walked downstairs and he was having sex on the couch, I'd be like, what the hell's going on? Like,
was it middle of the night? No, it was like 9 o'clock.
You're
going to come down any second.
It couldn't have been much past midnight. I mean, it was Farmington Hills. I mean, it's not like we were, bars. We were staying at a bar until 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that's the only relief that I remember feeling. But I knew in college that I enjoyed it, which is a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing that you liked it, but it's a curse a little bit because like, oh no, like when this ends, I'm gonna not like that this is ending. Which very few things in my life I felt that way about. But there you go. So
maybe that's why I remember Houlihan so fondly. That was when I was first introduced to the devil's powder with a fellow bartender, Tony.
Yeah.
Had very subtle code for it. Like they'd be pressed 3 deep at the rail on a Friday night. And, we're kind of in the weeds and, starting to lose steam. It's like 10:30 and you've already been on shift for 4 hours and you've got at least 3 more to go. And he would look down the bar, I'm doing, at one end, he's got the other one. And the signal was, he would yell down to me, Vrabel, let's chop it up.
Very subtle.
Yeah. And he would
really loud.
Yeah. Karate chop in the palm of, the one hand. To, let's cut some lines, back in the keg room. And he especially with that crowd in Lansing, this wasn't the college town. This was, the more blue collar.
Okemos.
Yeah, like the blue collar, city type of things. We weren't the only ones doing it. He could have just as easily said, Bravo, let's go do a couple of lines of cocaine in the back room.
A little booger sugar, a little devil's dandruff.
Yeah, he wasn't fooling anybody. Secret speak.
Yeah.
Well, Friday at 10 o'clock, if the 2 bartenders leave together, I would and they're just like
those kegs were heavy, man. If you had to get one down from the top rack, sometimes it took 2 people. Is what we said.
Yeah, because were you pulling them into the bar, or did you have at least a line system from the back?
There was a line system.
Yeah, so it's not a huge endeavor.
Hey, it worked. Okay.
No, I'm just
And it
saying
worked
that if I was the
beautifully.
manager, I would have kind of known what was going on. I wouldn't have cared.
The manager was
I wouldn't
probably
have
doing
cared.
it too. Maybe he was. He was a good dude. I liked him.
Well, you were probably, getting some blue-collar Betties over there. You were probably getting yourself...
It was great.
And they probably wanted a piece of the Rob man. Him and his, his free hand with the vial. They were probably eating out of your hand, my friend. Free drinks and free blow.
There was pre-vial days. That was just the folded up paper. Wasn't enough to necessitate a vial.
All right. Well, I don't know. You don't have to call me out just because of my lack of experience with the substance. I don't know if that was necessary. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Big show on the way today, including these fart monitors are coming in the mail very soon. Real ones from a real study from the University of Maryland. This is not some crass joke.
Oh yeah, we didn't get these at Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah, this is a real scientific study. We're in fairness legitimately helping out a study that the professor, the doctor, the PhD at the University of Maryland believes will improve humanity. So we will discuss that. Also, the Vrabel stuff, A.J. Brown stuff. Mike Reese is going to join us. Big show on the way today. We'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what happened in the world of sports last evening?
I apologize. Freddie had moved on the subject. I was still so consumed thinking about my days tending bar at Houlihan's. I completely missed what he was saying. I tried to follow up on one of his stories with another Houlihan story. Those were good days.
Well, I would contend that from the 22 to 27, 28 was the best, most carefree time of my life until whenever I got mornings. That's when ironically, when things became way less fun, because when I got what I wanted, then there was the responsibility of having to do that. And then I didn't. And then at that point, it's like you're fighting that uphill battle, which is ironic because you work all that time to get to that point. And then once you get it, it's now there's all this responsibility and things got serious quick.
More problems come from dreams that are answered than those that are unanswered.
Very deep.
Hello. Did you just make that up?
No. Very deep thought for 6:31 in the morning.
Well, hang on to him. He was doing blow at Lansing's Houlihan's back in the early 90s.
I find myself inspired by that. Thank you, Rob.
Stanley Cup Final began last night as the Vegas Golden Knights were visiting the Carolina Hurricanes. I remember some time back thinking that Carolina Hurricane experience was way overrated. Oh, they're not that loud in that building. That's not such a tough place to play. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Early on, 25 seconds into the game.
Takes the loose puck, knocked away, and here's Nikolai Ehlers playing his way around Theodore. Ehlers coming in, snaps a shot, he scores! Carolina, right off the bat, it's 1-0, 25 seconds into game one. Nikolai Ehlers gets the Canes on the board.
You know what? Listen to all those NBA play-by-play guys, wee and cha-ching, a Thunder Moneyball. There it is. He scored. Great play. Move on. Right? No craziness. No, it's a whatever kind of goal it is. It was a great play. We're up 1-0 in game one of the Stanley Cup Finals. Perfect.
Yeah, by now, if you're doing radio, you're calling into the hundreds the game you're doing for the season. And yes, these little fun turns of phrase and things that you have to ram into everything get a lot less charming.
The perfect call of a big goal there.
So if a guy averages 25 points a game in say Wembanyama averages 22 points a game over the course of 100 games, and you say wee every time he hits something, or even more, how many 3-pointers a game have Oklahoma City made?
Right.
And you say Thunder Moneyball. like, at what point do you realize how laborious that becomes? It just becomes so counterintuitive. Like you say it once, fine. Like, okay, like tee-hee, a Thunder Moneyball, fine. And then you just keep doing it and doing it. And now that they've lost, maybe you go back to the shed. And maybe your little magic elixir of saying Thunder Moneyball isn't really responsible for them winning or not. Your magical thinking isn't really, in reality, what's making this happen. But I am with you, John, and you are a play-by-play guy and a good one. It's just these little hackneyed small market tricks. Like,
And technically, this guy works in a small market. He works in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is perfect.
Right.
No, it's. I say, though, once again, I was completely wrong about this building, thinking that it was size-wise, sure. But in terms of the small market feel, it doesn't have it anymore. This team has apparently completely won over the town. It used to be. Seemed like a 50-50 split in there.
That area has been college basketball for so long, and now.
And I went to a Red Wings game there where half the crowd is in Wings jerseys, but this was a long time ago. Now, it's all Carolina, and they would go up 2-0 in the first period. Shea Theodore answering toward about a minute and a half after the second Carolina goal was scored to get the Knights on the board, and then 30 seconds into the second period, full momentum swing.
Did not allow a goal in the second period of that series. Eichel, a sharp angle shot right wing through the net mouth and out the back door. Eichel to the middle. Barbashev scores! Eichel to Barbashev. 2-2 tie.
So tied at 2, Vegas would add to that with another goal. So that was 3 unanswered for the Vegas Golden Knights from the first period to 4.5 minutes into the second. They would trade goals back and forth until finally one team would go on top late in the third.
A little more touch. Sissons might have been in the clear down the slot. Hurdle from the right side. Give and go. He shoots. He scores! Tomas Hurdle. 5-4 Knights. 3:24 to go in the third period.
And that would be your final as the Vegas Golden Knights overcome that 2-0 deficit early on to take Game 1 on the road of the Stanley Cup Final.
I don't know how much of this you saw. I thought the game was fantastic to watch back and forth. And the building was electric to start. And
the world was watching.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what? We joked about it. I ended up watching the first 2 periods, and it was
fun.
It was a really fun game to watch. Yeah. It wasn't the best hockey. There were a lot of giveaways, a lot of just gaffes that led to goals. So it wasn't like this awesome display of hockey prowess, but it was an entertaining game, and a lot of it has to do with that crowd in Carolina.
Pierre LeBrun, who covers, I think it's for ESPN now, he polled a lot of hockey coaches and executives on what they thought was going to happen in this series, and unanimously, everyone thought this thing was going to go 6 or 7. They're evenly matched teams, but John Tortorella, another win. Since he took over with 8 games left in the NHL regular season, Vegas is 24-1. And he is not guaranteed a job after the end of this season, although you would hope that they would re-sign him for a couple of years.
It's an interesting thing because you might just take take your money and run because Tortorella is going to burn himself out over there. It's like
history would tell you that's the case. Yep.
And maybe if you're Tortorella, you just want out. Like I won the cup. This is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be like the closer. If you have a good team that you think is underperforming, you bring me in for half the season and just collect Stanley Cups. By the way, road teams 0-55 win down multiple calls at any point during a Stanley Cup Final Game 1.
This win over Carolina, real quick, was big, too. Carolina coming into this game in the playoffs, 12-1.
Yes.
And they lost last night.
12-1. After being up 2-0.
Yeah. And their record in the postseason being down a goal is, something historic. It's like, no team has ever won more than, 2 games in a postseason after going down a goal. They're winning pretty much all their games. I don't know if that was the case against the Avalanche. I think, that was the sweep. And but, these games where they find themselves in the hole at any point, they end up winning them anyway. It doesn't matter. So there you go. Then we'll go again tomorrow night.
Yes, every other night. I think they're trying to obviously balance it so they don't stay in the way of the NBA Finals.
Right. Well, I found myself watching that after what happened with the Red Sox last night. I got the sense that this one wasn't going to go their way.
Justin Verlander as well. Alonso with a drive, screaming towards the top of the monster, and it is gone. In no time flat. Pete Alonso with a go-ahead 2-run home run here in the third inning.
You were talking about Alonso before, Fred. He's heating up last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep. He's I still wouldn't want him, and I think Contreras is perfectly fine, but yes, Alonso has been better as of late.
Yeah, that homer in the third inning made it 3-1, and that would end up being enough as the Red Sox fall to the Orioles last night at Fenway Park, a final of 4-2.
The Red Sox are far and away the worst home team in the league. They're 9-20 at home after last night. Last night was pretty historic because the Orioles entering last night were one of 2 Major League Baseball teams that didn't have 10 road wins all season. One of the worst road teams in Major League Baseball just came into your place and beat you.
Well, Falafel says that...
This is interesting. I was just pulling it up. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, he says that he's asked about why they're 9-20 at home.
Well, he was asked, according to Alex Beer, why the team has been so good on the road, but not as good at home, yeah.
And he said that the team has struggled to avoid distractions of larger groups of outside people at Fenway. The only way I can interpret that is that somehow the number of visiting fans in the stands at Fenway Park has become too much for Major League Baseball players to overcome, which might be the most ridiculous, like, gaslighting-y thing of all time. Like, you're a professional baseball player. It's time. You're in the majors. Stop. These major leaguers are becoming children. It's real, like, little league stuff.
We're supposed to have a nice home game, and there's all these Baltimore fans yelling all this mean stuff at me.
It's you're a professional. Like, get over it. Like, they use new balls for infield. Like, they like unpackage balls for infield out. Like, stop it. Your hands don't touch a used baseball. Like, it's enough. It just. I don't know why that's sticking in my head, but it's just the way that these guys are coddled. It's enough.
The other part of it is just another log on the fire. Excuses after excuses, and they're trying to figure. Maddening. You guys are just bad. Like, is what it is.
Right. Like, what is? So you can't hit because you're too busy looking at the visiting fans in the stands at Fenway Park.
They say stuff too.
Well, yeah, and Duran is all like into what everyone's saying. Everyone can't get enough of the crowd. They're all seem very hyper focused on what's going on in the crowd.
Also, Fred, their hands do get dirty even in warm-ups because they're not fresh out of the box. They rub that mud on them.
Well, they got a little, but I don't know if that gets on your hand.
I thought it was Delaware. Is it Ohio?
Oh, maybe it is Delaware.
And they wear sliding gloves, because to protect
the oven mitts, very important.
Their digits. So I would, and then there's batting gloves. I don't know if their hands ever get dirty.
The oven mitts that are 4 inches longer than their fingertips, so they have a better chance of being safe. Yeah.
Oh, there's a danger of pine tar, Fred. That's a possibility. Dirty your hands that way.
Yeah, you could get a splinter, but
that's very possible. One final pathetic stat from last night: Red Sox had a total of 3 at-bats for the entire evening with a runner in scoring position. And nobody passed first base after the 5th inning. Last 4 innings, no runner for the Red Sox reached second. Well, 2 runs, 4 hits against a bad baseball team. Baltimore now leads you by 3 games for second to last.
Well, it's if only people that were Red Sox fans would go to more games and be louder, then they could end this. It's too distracting.
Yes. Now you get it.
It's too distracting that all those Orioles fans were there yesterday. It was just so overwhelming, the Orioles fans. You can't expect Falafel to hit. I mean, he's got to sit there and look at the crowd. I mean, I've never heard anything ridiculous in my entire life.
You've been to Camden Yards, haven't you?
Yes.
Would you ever like take a trip to an opposing ballpark? I hear Camden Yards is very nice.
Well, I have. Well, if I was in Baltimore, yeah, I don't know the incentive to go pay more to go to Fenway Park.
Right.
Unless I lived here.
Why are they even here?
Right. It's like if I'm a Baltimore fan that lives in Boston, then I'd go to the game. But it's just the most JV thing. Like, they've been playing baseball in front of crowds since it started. You know that I played in front of crowds when I was 12. Like, it's enough. It's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. I've never heard anything like it in my entire life. You play 162 games. You can't focus because of the crowd.
I feel for the kid. I understand what he's
Oh, my God. They're adults. How old is Kiner Falafel?
Little Falafel?
He's got to be around 30.
He's 31. 31, he can't get it together.
Been around a while.
31 years old. He can't get over the crowd. And you know me. I got a lot of sympathy for these guys. I know how difficult it is to play through those injuries and everything. I have a lot of sympathy for the grind of the season. But they got to stop looking at the crowd. It's enough with the crowd is bothering you so much. It just drives me nuts. It's just so unprofessional. It's so incredibly unprofessional. Oh, I can't do the show because they're yelling at me on Instagram. I mean, come on. Stop it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
The Patriots were back doing some joint practices yesterday, and of course A.J. Brown was there and actually got out onto the field, and Mike Vrabel had a chance to talk about things like A.J. Brown. A little surprising here.
Is the plan for him to play under the contract that he had with the Eagles?
I mean, he's been here a day, so I mean, the plan is for him to practice and try to get acclimated. I don't see anything that would preclude him from doing that. I mean, right now, I just excited to add the player. I know the football team is looking forward to having him and practice and get acclimated and whatever that looks like today. So, by all accounts, he's ready to go.
So,
just a little excitement. You're not being asked about extramarital affairs. This is a guy he's going to help your offense. Just a little excitement, Mike, about bringing him in. I mean, not to Craig Breslow this thing. Jesus.
According to Vrabel, it's like he had nothing to do with it. They just told him, hey, we got you a wide receiver. What's his name? A.J. Brown? Oh, I heard of him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not involved in personnel decisions.
Well, and
hence his non-appearance at the day 3 of the NFL draft.
But it seems odd seeing how they have this relationship, as we were talking about just yesterday, that goes far beyond just a guy who coached him up once. They're actual friends, could talk back and forth, questions about family and whatnot. Like, didn't know.
Brown was saying that yesterday that he had stuff that Vrabel told him. Vrabel was hard on him his rookie year, and he carried Vrabel's words into his successful 4-year run in Philadelphia. The two of them are close.
Well, A.J. Brown was a big Patriots fan for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
He lived, maybe because the Patriots were good.
They're big in Starksville, Mississippi, where he grew up. Apparently.
I mean, listen, if you got to pick a franchise, pick the franchise that's going to win 6 Super Bowls, but a little lack of character there.
What did you want him to say, the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lions, Jets.
Okay.
Arizona Cardinals.
Sure.
There's a lot of things that he could have said. Maybe not even Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, Lions, Jets, Cleveland. These are the teams that he should have picked. Showed some character. Instead, he picked the Patriots, who just were going around winning. It was like being a Cowboys fan in the 70s.
Well, he didn't pick it. Do you want to hear it now, or do you want to hear it later?
Well, we couldn't play it twice. Everyone's going to know by that the second time.
The exact same audience will be with us when you do it again.
And also, it's there's so much to talk about. I don't know how we'd fit it in. But yes, I would like to hit it here now.
Okay, give me a second here. Ryan, can you throw that in at the top for me, please? It's A.J. Brown, who is on a podcast discussing his love of the Patriots and how that came to be. I'll have
A podcast.
A podcast, yes.
Not the podcast. A podcast.
Yes.
Well, granted, there are a few of them out there.
There was one where they were interviewing someone. They sat a guy down and they were interviewing him. And then he went around and got interviewed. He got interviewed, and then A.J. Brown interviewed him on his podcast. They just went back and forth interviewing each other. It's one of these rare formats where you sit down and have a 2-hour conversation.
Here we go.
AJ, first of all, thank you for allowing me to come in your house and hang out for a little bit.
Thank you for making it. It's okay.
I have a real question. When did we get this rug right here? Where did this come from?
It's a Patriots rug.
Thank you.
It came from Amazon, but definitely a few years now. It's been here for a while.
While you were an Eagle, you had this rug in your house?
Absolutely.
You got to tell me why.
You know, some things just never change. You know, this is my team. This is my team since I was a kid. So it didn't matter. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing as an Eagle, but this is it.
Your agent comes back and he's like, I got it.
Okay, I can't hear it anymore.
All right, so
it's just so bad.
Basically, his older cousin was a Patriots fan, and he wanted to be like his older cousin.
I see.
So he wanted to emulate him in every way.
So that podcast is not based on listening to it. It's based on looking at it and seeing exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's a multimedia.
So if I download
it's a multimedia experience.
So it'd be like just taping Friends on a cassette and playing it in my car. Okay.
It's a good thing that most people can't see how I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah.
It's you know what I like to do? I like to drive around listening to Animal House.
Yeah.
The movie.
It gets better. I believe the Throw Rugs has a Patriots logo, and at the bottom it says "Man Cave" in big letters.
It does say "Man Cave," but cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand the podcast. Just you had this rug. Yeah, I had a rug. What's up with that? It was a good rug. Okay, now I'm going to crash my car. Thank you. Thank you for the thank you for the theater of the mind that conversation brought to mind.
I like it.
No, you didn't.
Now I'm going to download the whole thing and listen to it.
Couldn't? Yeah. Well, listen. You better have a projector in your car.
I don't know. You give me sunshine 2 days in a row. My outlook changes on everything. I'm going to be Mr. Positive.
Yeah, he's all jazzed up.
Yeah,
Hardy's having a good day.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Sure you are.
All right, we'll be back in.
I'm going to keep it going
moment.
for 3+ more hours. You watch, Walter.
Okay.
Well, 3 hours and 3. Well, listen. In fairness, like under 3 hours, because we're out of here by 6:55. Or Lauf gets very upset. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.